Summary of Wreck the Halls, a novel written by Tessa Bailey. Chapter 1. Beat stood shivering on the cold sidewalk, the glow of the restaurant's warm interior a stark contrast to the icy tendrils creeping over him. His 30th birthday party was supposed to be a celebration, a culmination of the mysterious plans his friends had been crafting for weeks. Yet, the weight of anticipation twisted in his stomach, overshadowed by the unsettling return of a dark force from his past. His friends, unaware of the storm brewing within Beat, believed they were orchestrating the ultimate surprise. If only he could move his legs, step through the restaurant doors, and immerse himself in the festivities, he thought. He'd play the role of the unsuspecting birthday boy, embracing each friend with genuine gratitude, marveling at their craftiness, and perhaps, momentarily, convincing himself that he was the ultimate friend. But the looming phone call shattered this fragile facade. The device vibrated in his hand, a harbinger of unwelcome news. His stomach churned with an intensity that demanded his full attention, forcing him to concentrate on the rhythmic cadence of his breath. A passing couple shot curious glances his way as he stood alone on the sidewalk, a weak smile failing to reassure them. His phone displayed an unknown caller, a familiar pattern from the past, signaling the return of a relentless blackmailer. Over a year and a half had passed since the last menacing demand had echoed through his life. Beat had paid a hefty sum, hoping to buy respite, but the unexpected message tonight shattered that illusion. "I'm feeling talkative, Beat. Like I need to get some things off my chest," the voice on the other end intoned, sending an unholy churn through Beat's gut. It was the same modus operandi, a sudden contact, immediate persistence, and demands that left no room for negotiation or reasoning. The demands were simple: comply or face the exposure of a secret capable of rocking the very foundation of his family's world. Nonchalantly, as if discussing the weather, the blackmailer insisted on double the previous amount. Beat's attempt to reason fell on deaf ears, met with the ominous proclamation that the truth never truly vanished. A surreal calmness settled over Beat as he absorbed the weight of those words. Was this reality, or was he trapped in an endless dream? The familiar sights of Greenwich Street, dressed in Christmas lights and enveloped in an early December cold snap, looked like a movie set. The surroundings seemed staged, disconnected from the turmoil inside him. The blackmailer's voice disrupted his introspection. "Hello again, Beat." A red-hot iron dropped in Beat's stomach. Did the voice sound more on edge than before? Almost agitated? "We agreed this was over," Beat retorted, his grip tight around the phone. "I was never supposed to hear from you again." A raspy sigh filled the line. "The thing about the truth is, it never really goes away." The conversation hung in the frigid air as those ominous words echoed in Beat's ears. He took a deep breath, pacing a short distance in the opposite direction of the restaurant. Then, with a resigned resolve, he hit call and lifted the phone to his ear. "Hello again, Beat." Beat's mind raced, grappling with the reality that the nightmare he thought was behind him had returned with a vengeance. The blackmailer, emboldened by the power of a damning secret, was back to torment him. "We agreed this was over," Beat repeated, a hint of desperation tinging his voice. "I was never supposed to hear from you again." The blackmailer chuckled, a sinister sound that sent shivers down Beat's spine. "Agreements change, my friend. The truth has a way of surfacing when you least expect it." With those cryptic words, Beat felt a surreal calm settle over him. A detached acceptance of the inevitable. As the blackmailer laid out the new demands, double the previous amount, Beat's mind raced through the limited options available to him. He couldn't muster the funds personally, and the foundation money, dedicated to noble causes, was off limits. "I can't do that. I don't personally have that kind of liquid cash, and I will not touch the foundation money." "This needs to be over," Beat declared, his voice tinged with desperation. "The truth never goes away, Beat." "I heard you," the blackmailer retorted, the words hanging heavy in the air. The conversation ended abruptly, leaving Beat staring at the silent device in his hand. The weight of the impending crisis pressed upon him, the reality sinking in. His friends' text messages piled up on the screen, asking about his whereabouts, unaware of the turmoil consuming him. With a deep breath and a practiced smile, Beat walked into the pitch-black party room. The lights came on, revealing a sea of smiling faces shouting, "Surprise!" Despite the coldness in his veins, Beat staggered back with a dazed grin. Playing the part of the unsuspecting birthday boy. Hugs, backslaps, handshakes, and kisses on the cheeks ensued, as Beat pretended that everything was normal. Yet, beneath the facade, a silent plea echoed within him, "Nothing is wrong. I have it all under control." As he navigated through the celebration, surrounded by friends and the festive ambience, Beat struggled to appreciate the effort put into the party. White twinkling lights, fresh garland, poinsettias, and the scent of cinnamon and pine filled the room, creating a picturesque Christmas-themed birthday celebration. The familiar faces around him, adorned with Santa hats, expressed genuine joy and camaraderie. Despite the outward merriment, Beat's mind raced through the tumultuous events of the evening. The blackmailer's demands loomed over him, casting a shadow on the celebration. The prospect of finding $800,000 by Christmas, the impending reality show offer, and the uncertainty of Melody's involvement in the unfolding drama consumed his thoughts. A college buddy wrestled him into a playful headlock, and Beat endured it, the weight of the secret pressing against his chest. His friends, blissfully unaware of the turmoil within him, chatted and laughed, reveling in the festive atmosphere. "You didn't think we'd let your 30th pass without an obnoxious celebration, did you?" Vance teased, elbowing Beat in the ribs. "You're damn right I do," Beat responded, his smile strained. A glass of champagne appeared in his hand as he continued to navigate the sea of well-wishers. "What time is the clown arriving to make balloon animals?" The group erupted into laughter, momentarily distracted by the banter. Vance shook his head, exasperated. "How the hell? You ruined the surprise." "Like you said," Beat saluted them, masking his inner turmoil, "I know you." Yet, amidst the laughter and confetti, Beat's mind continued to churn. The reality of the blackmailer's demands and the potential solution offered by the reality show hung over him like a storm cloud. The facade of normalcy became increasingly challenging to maintain. His friends, unaware of the internal struggle, continued to shower him with affection and good wishes. Beat acknowledged their gestures, offering gratitude and returning their smiles, but beneath the surface, the weight of the impending crisis threatened to consume him. After a few minutes, Beat excused himself, citing the need to make a phone call. Vance, ever the inquisitive friend, questioned, "To whom?" "Everyone you know is in this room." Beat's response was swift, a casual remark meant to divert their attention. "When I find a woman who can survive my friends, I'll bring her around." The banter continued, the group momentarily satisfied with the playful exchange. As Beat stepped outside into the cool night air, the facade crumbled. Alone on the sidewalk, he stared down at the silent phone in his hand. The reality of the situation washed over him, and a sense of helplessness settled in. The looming deadline imposed by the blackmailer demanded immediate action. In the midst of the crisis, Beat's thoughts drifted back to an email from Danielle Doolin, the reality show producer. The prospect of $1 million for a Steelbirds reunion seemed like a lifeline, a potential solution to the financial demands placed on him. However, the offer came with its own set of challenges, particularly Melody's involvement. With a heavy heart, Beat pondered the repercussions of agreeing to the reality show. The tantalizing promise of financial relief clashed with the ethical dilemma of thrusting Melody back into the unforgiving spotlight of fame. The memories of their brief encounter 14 years ago, the protectiveness he felt towards her, and the unresolved questions lingered. Unable to resist the temptation, Beat revisited the email from Danielle Doolin, his thumb scrolling through the words that could potentially alter the course of his life. The producer's enthusiastic pitch promised fame, fortune, and a reunion that the public had yearned for since the band's breakup in '93. "Dear Mr. Dawkins, allow me to introduce myself. I'm your ticket to becoming a household name. Since Steelbirds broke up in '93. The public has been desperate for a reunion of the women who not only co-wrote some of the world's most beloved ballads, but inspired a movement. Empowered little girls to get out there, find a microphone, and express their discontent, no matter who it pissed off. I was one of those little girls. You're a busy man, so let me be brief. I want to give the public the reunion we've been dreaming about since '93. There are no better catalysts than the children of these legendary women to make this happen. It is my profound wish for you, Mr. Dawkins and Melody Gillard, to join forces to bring your parents back together. The Applause Network is prepared to offer each of you $1 million. Sincerely, Danielle Doolin. Beat's grip tightened on the phone as he absorbed the magnitude of the offer. $1 million, a sum that could potentially free him from the clutches of the blackmailer. The choice presented itself as a double-edged sword, promising financial relief but raising ethical concerns about Melody's involvement. His thoughts spiraled into a realm of uncertainty. $1 million would undoubtedly solve his immediate problem, but at what cost? The consequences of thrusting Melody into the spotlight, reopening old wounds, and subjecting her to the ruthless scrutiny of the media, weighed heavily on Beat's conscience. As the party continued inside, oblivious to the internal turmoil unfolding on the sidewalk, Beat grappled with the decisions that lay before him. The urgency of the blackmailer's deadline left little time for contemplation, and the reality show offer loomed as a tempting yet perilous solution. Beat sighed. The weight of the world pressing against him. He needed to reach a decision, and fast. The conflicting forces of financial desperation and ethical considerations tugged at him from opposite ends, leaving him standing alone on the cold sidewalk, a man at the crossroads of his own fate. Chapter 2. Melody stood at the top of the bocce ball court, the red wooden ball in hand. This throw would determine whether her team won or lost. The weight of the moment pressed on her like an anvil, and she wondered how she, the team's weakest player, had ended up in this pivotal position. Her heartbeat resonated loudly, drowning out the Elf soundtrack playing in the bar. Her teammates lined the sides of the lane, hands clasped together in anticipation, turning a seemingly casual game into a high-stakes event. Her boss and best friend, Savelina, had assured her that this was a low-stakes game, but Melody couldn't shake off the nerves. Why was she here, risking the team's success, when she usually played a more inconspicuous role? Her mind raced as she contemplated the magnitude of the throw. "You can do it, Mel," Savelina shouted, her encouragement echoed by the cheers and whistles of coworkers from the bookstore. Melody felt a surge of pressure, realizing the expectations resting on her shoulders. She questioned the lineup, the choices that led to this moment, and her own capabilities. "Do you need a timeout?" Savelina asked with concern. "What made you think that?" "The fact that I'm frozen in fear?" Melody retorted, her attempt at humor met with laughter from the supportive crowd. Glancing over her shoulder, Melody saw the entire bar focused on the final throw. The pressure intensified, and her glasses fogged up from her rapid breathing. Insecurity crept in. Were they all scrutinizing her every move, even her choice of a floor-length pleated skirt for bocce? Savelina gestured towards the bocce lane, urging her to make the throw. The crowd's cheers boosted her confidence slightly, but doubt lingered. She took a deep breath and rolled the red wooden ball across the sand. The ball came to a stop far from the jack, sealing their defeat. The opponents celebrated, and the disappointment in the home team bar was palpable. Savelina approached, offering a sympathetic smile and a reassuring squeeze on Melody's shoulder. "We'll win the next one." "We haven't won a game all season," Melody replied, her frustration evident. "Victory isn't always the point. It's trying in the first place," Savelina reassured her. A hint of wisdom in her words. As the reality of their impending final game settled in, Savelina expressed optimism. Melody, however, remained skeptical. The conversation shifted to Melody's mother, a rock star named Trina Gillard, adding a layer of complexity to her already tumultuous emotions. With a tight smile, Melody excused herself to settle her tab, leaving Savelina with unspoken questions about her elusive mother. The scene encapsulated Melody's internal struggles, the dynamics within her team, and the complexity of her relationship with her famous mother, setting the stage for the challenges and self-discovery that lay ahead.